I thought that I can run you guys through one virtual clinical trial, that how exactly you develop the hypothesis, how exactly you develop the study rationale, and then accordingly how will how many study arms you will have depending on what all procedures you want to do in your clinical trial. So we have this particular site stating vct.rise.edu, which is a good site for virtual clinical trials. Only one of you for now can talk to me. Is there anyone? Supriya, you're there. Can you listen to me? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Uh, am I not connected to just a minute? Just a minute. Mm, Okay, can you hear me? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we have this. You can keep yourself unmuted throughout the thing. Just make sure that you are not in a very noisy place. Okay. So as you can see that there are trial number one is written over here is spinal cord injury. Trial two is teens and depression. Trial three is traumatic brain injury. So which one you think we should do for today? I think we can go for the teen and depression because we know this
Yes,
is
ma'am. Second one. Second one. Yes.
okay. We'll go for second one. Just a minute. Why is my getting clicked? Just give me a minute here. Maybe there are some things to add here. Hmm. Why it is not working? Okay, let me try it one more time. Rice.edu. Somehow it is not working. Let us try to some. Do I have any other site? Just stay there for a minute. We will try here, otherwise we can just drop it for now. Okay, I guess it's not working here as well because I tried in Internet Explorer as well and in Google Chrome as well. But then, due to some reason, it is not able to proceed. I will have to look into the details of it. Maybe when I conducted the same for part two as well, and that time we were able to do it very nicely. So this is very interesting site for doing the virtual clinical trials, and it's really nice. I will take you through one of the trials, and rest you guys can do it at your on your phones, on your desktop at home. So basically this but whole study will give you an idea that how researchers mind work when they have to develop a clinical trial, and how exactly they have to set forth the hypothesis and set forth many things that they are supposed to look into. Okay. So I will in the next half, maybe I can talk about it. I'll figure it out how exactly this has to be done, because it was working till yesterday and today it is suddenly not getting clicked on any of the this thing. Yeah. So, see, we are almost done with this particular topic of ours, which is GCP, ethical issues, and also bioavailability and bioequivalence. Okay. So, for the bioavailability and bioequivalence, I'll be sharing the notes with you, which are there, which I got the copy from the college of the same. I was talking about the notes which you guys are supposed to have. Did anyone of you got the notes that you are supposed to get it from your seniors? Did anyone of you get it from your seniors? Not yet. Okay. So, what you guys are going to do then about, because the whole MS syllabus is also in there. So I was hoping that you guys could get the notes from somewhere. Otherwise, I can scan few pages and send it to you guys, but then that will not be the whole. It's not possible. It's a big bunch of it. Okay. So, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to dictate a few questions, and you're going to write them down and keep them with you as the study questions. Okay. And we'll just revise a little bit of a portion that we are done by far. Okay. So, just give me 1 minute over here. So, I'll get the questions. Please be ready with your books and pens, etc. Okay. Okay, so if you guys are ready, we can start. So we have this bundle of notes that we have created only for bioanalytical sciences, and I'll be dictating few questions from there which are related to our study, okay, of whatever we have learned by far. Mm, yes. Uh, so first question that you guys are going to write down is, bring out the significance. Are you guys there? One of you can unmute yourself. Sandhya, you can do
Yes,
that.
ma'am. Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
So bring out the significance of ethical issues in human trials. significance of ethical issues in human trials, and explain the regulatory guidelines on these issues. And explain the regulatory guidelines on these issues. So in this, you will be talking about what is the definition of ethics, what are the participation in clinical trial implies, and what does it involve. Uh, then components of ethical research you will be talking about, and then according to ICMR, whatever principles are there in clinical trial, that is that those 10 principles, 13 principles they have mentioned over here. So, how will you be sticking to the regulatory guidelines? That is what is explained by explaining those 13 principles. Okay. So, if you guys try to write the answer on your own. If you guys are still not able to, we can discuss about it. We will not discuss in much detail, but I can send you the answers accordingly. Okay. So, can we go ahead?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, explain in detail about the Nuremberg Code. So this question I have explained you guys in your assignment as well, which I'm supposed to evaluate. I'll be evaluating in a day or two. Okay. So the declaration, Nuremberg Code detail. Okay, Declaration of Helsinki and World Medical Association, Finland, 1964. That also you explain in detail. So that also we have done. Declaration of Helsinki of the World Medical Association, that is WMA, Finland, 1964. Okay. Then write down, this is the new one, but we have already learned a lot in that. It's talking about principles for all medical research. Principles for all medical research. So the principles are not going to be any different than what principles we have learned. The 13 principles that you will be getting a informed consent form, you will be checking the risk, you will be deciding the beneficence, you will be checking out, looking forward for looking into the adverse event, uh, you will be protecting the life health of the subjects who are going to enroll. So these are the principles of all medical research. So they have given them nicely in point wise manner. So, but just write down the question. If I will send you the answer of the same. See, if we are not, if you guys are not going to get this particular thing, then at least we should be prepared in some or other way. That at least you guys can write your own answers to all these questions. Okay, and if not, I will send you the photos of the same. Then so that you guys, I guess you guys have written that principle of all medical research. Write the principle of all medical research. Then Belmont report in detail. Okay, details of Belmont report. या फिर give a detailed account of Belmont report. Okay, then comes ethical committee. Okay, in ethical committee, write the details about the ethical committee, IEC composition, ethical committee, IEC composition, and their basic responsibilities. So, are you guys fine till here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. In basic responsibilities of IEC, you will be writing about responsibilities of IEC before the start of research, while the research is going on, and after the finishing of the research. Okay. So try to jot it down on your own. So whenever you have free time or something like that, please think about all these points. And I have not forgotten about the test that we are supposed to conduct on IEC. Okay. So you guys, please be prepared anytime. Today I have lots and lots of time. So today maybe I will schedule it at evening or something like that. So be prepared. Okay. Mm, then, so the roles and responsibility, basic responsibilities of IC, you'll be writing in the manner before the start of the research, while the research is going on, and then end of the research. Okay. So it's a big answer. Then, short note on informed consent form. Okay. So you should be able to give a detail or a short note about informed consent form. Okay. So this is something new. The next question, can we go to the next question?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So ethical issues in selection of special groups or vulnerable groups. Ethical issues in selection of special group or vulnerable groups. So when we are talking about special group or vulnerable groups, it includes pregnant or nursing women, it includes children, and it includes a vulnerable group which could be poor people, and it could be also elderly people. Okay. So these three categories, how what all issues, ethical issues we can face, okay, for this particular vulnerable group. So that is what you have to write in the answer. So explain, give an short note on ethical issues in selection of special group or vulnerable groups. That is what it is. So for now, I just want you guys to give a thought about all these questions, like what all things should be there. Then once you guys are thorough with it, maybe you have your own answer, then you guys can tell me like what it is. Okay. Then moving on to the last 2 days lectures, which is you guys did for us, is animal studies, ethical issues in animal studies. So describe the composition. Are we good? Can I tell you the next question?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So describe the composition and functioning of an animal ethics committee. Okay, that is IAEC, right? Describe the composition and functioning of an animal ethics committee. And next in that is CPC SEA guidelines for animal experimentation. CPC SEA guidelines for animal experimentation. So this is what we have as a questions in ethical issues, ICH, and then we have you have to give a detailed account of ICH GCP guidelines also. Okay, uh, I'll I'll be telling about that as well. Yes. So moving on to the good clinical practices. Are we done till here, Supriya? Are we fine? I hope. I'm
Yes,
just
ma'am.
asking
Yes, yes.
Supriya. Yes. Okay. So good clinical practices. So this was all about ethical issues. Okay. So next is good clinical practices. So good clinical practices में सबसे पहले है what is GCP and explain its significance. Okay. What is GCP and explain its significance. So you'll be learning about what is GCP, writing about what is GCP and what does it signify. Why do we have to adhere to GCP guidelines? Okay. So next question could be give an outline about origin of GCP. This could be a little tricky. I will send you the answer. No worry. So the outline about the origin of the give a brief outline about the origin of GCP. Okay. Then discuss the phases of clinical trial that are conducted before a drug is approved for human use. Give discuss different phases of clinical trial. That is also you can keep it as discuss phases of clinical trial. Okay. Very important question is next. So you'll be in discuss the phases of clinical trial. In that you will be talking about phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. Okay, detailed account of those. And then next question is protocol content and format. Very important. What should be the protocol content and what should be the protocol format? Okay. This is also a very interesting question. Discuss the important documents that are generated to show compliance to GCP in clinical trial. What all documents you will show that will tell about the compliance of clinical trial to the good clinical practices. Okay, so discuss the important documents that are generated to show compliance to GCP in a clinical trial. Okay, is this question clear, Supriya?
Ma'am, repeat it once again.
Okay, so discuss the important documents. Discuss the important documents that are generated to show compliance to GCP in a clinical trial. So basically in this question we'll be writing about or we'll be discussing about what is you should be having a document which is stating the clear research objective or rationale, then recent curriculum vitae of all the people of ethics committee, the principal investigator, etc. Then subject recruitment procedures, then you will be also talking about inclusion exclusion criteria. So these whatever documents you basically put in your study protocol, those should be there to make sure that you are being compliant with the good clinical practices. Yes or no? See, the question could be anything. It's just that answer is the same, right? It's just that how nicely you have understood the subject, and on depending on that how you are writing the answer. Because question is the same. See, all these study documents we have studied n number of times by far. The only thing is now you have to understand when when we are asking you that give a detailed account of the documents about which are going to be compliant, which are going to tell about the compliance of your clinical trial to good clinical practices, then you should be thinking about the same like inclusion exclusion criteria, informed consent form, your study rationale. These are all documents that you are going to produce in front of the ethics committee to make sure that your everything you're doing everything is very clear and you are being compliant. Okay. Then Next is under GCP, explain GCP guidelines, explain the process involved in subject recruitment. Under GCP, explain the process involved in subject. So what is the process involved in the subject recruitment? Okay. So for now, I'll just keep the questionnaire to this much only. And in the afternoon session, I will try this virtual clinical trial. How does it work? Why it is not working? And then maybe we can proceed with this virtual clinical trial, and then you guys can perform it at home. One of it you can do it at home. Today we just discussed about various questions that we can have depending on whatever we have learned on ethical issues and ICH guidelines, ICH GCP guidelines. So there are many questions that you can do and ask. So there are many things that you should be understanding. So there is a flow of understanding. That is what I meant to say. Starts with the ethical issues till the guidelines. Okay. So any questions that I just dictated right now, just for our knowledge. It's not that I'm giving you a questionnaire or something. It's just for your knowledge. What kind of questions are being asked? These are last year's questions जो एग्जाम्स में पूछे थे basically. So your super seniors have basically jotted down the answers for all those questions that were asked before. So you guys just see, if you know that whatever we have learned in GCP, if it's clear in your head, you should be able to answer these questions. Okay, so it's not big of a deal. So if this is working, the virtual clinical trial will perform the virtual clinical trial in the afternoon session. If not, we will start with the another topic. Okay. So I'm signing off for now. I will see you all in the afternoon session. See you.